Well, the ending piece of this program is a very special one. It is a cantata that maybe you didn't hear so often. It is a cantata of a very early age of Bach. He was 22 or 23, is not sure. He was in Mühlhausen, in the period in Mühlhausen. He was church organist only in that city, but he had very good connection with the authorities, and they loved him, his performance and everything. He was really in the good, at least in the beginning, he was in very good connection with the authorities of the church. He had his work was mainly performing in the church, but he was sometimes composing small cantatas, and there he had for the first time a publication of one cantata, Gott ist mein König, and was published not by him but by the city council. So he was in good estimation. The people really liked him. He composed in Mühlhausen also this cantata, which is the Herr, denket Annunz. It is a cantata written, some people believe it's for a wedding. So it's written in 1707 or 1708, that is not sure. And it's written in the old style, so there are not secco recitativos here. He didn't compose yet, so he's written more in the style of early, more Buxtehude-like, a little bit more close to the old tradition. And it opens with a sinfonia, in any case. So it opened with an instrumental piece, and funny enough, we started this program with a French overture. You remember Cantata 61? It opens with a French style overture with a choir, mixed with choir. But this is an Italian sinfonia. And so we open with French, we close with Italian, and we show different styles, the two styles, the main styles of Bach. The Baroque music had mainly two styles, and one was the French style and the other was Italian style. And the composers on that time, for example, German composers that officially they didn't have such a big thing as a style themselves. For example, Telemann or even Bach or Händel, they had to attach to another style. For example, Händel, born in Germany, he traveled and studied in Italy, and he made Italian style his own. So in those times, the composer should know different styles of composition, and there were mainly two styles, and as I said, French and Italian. So Händel had to, he chose actually the Italian style mainly. He studied in Italy, he lived in Italy for a while, he went to London, he went on writing all the time in Italian style. He used somehow French style as, for example, French overtures, but only that. For example, Telemann and Bach, both, they studied both styles, the Italian style and French style, and they use music, they compose in that, using those two styles. So in this case, we open with Cantata 61 with the French overture, and we close with the cantata with the Sinfonia, which is an Italian Sinfonia, at the beginning of the cantata. He opens with the Sinfonia, which is only instrumental music, and then then it's a choir opening, and that choir, the whole cantata is meant to be it is a very happy piece, a very joyful, very full of thanksgiving. So that's why people think was written for wedding ceremony. Again, we use the cantata. In this case, this cantata we alternate the solists and choir without being written on the score. It's not written, so it is interpretation. You can say, oh, here I want solo, and here you can reduce the choir to solo. We have a choir, but we have a choir of 3 persons each, which is actually an ensemble. So I will use that, and the whole cantata is saying the Herr, so God is blessing you for this, blessing your house, blessing your children. So it is a very happy message, very optimistic text and music, both. So Bach was very young, he was 22, 23, and he was full of ideas, and it's wonderful to see how he used thematically the same ideas, and those ideas come back and in the other numbers of the cantata, and also how he paints text. For example, when he says, when the text says, God is sending you blessings from heaven, the music is coming from above, and it's passing through violin 1, violin 2, viola, cello, and contrabass is going down, obviously, clearly. So God is sending blessing from the sky, from heaven, through music. And we are down, we are on earth. So it is actually, he's painting, without saying so much, but painting the text on the music. For example, there is a soprano aria also talking about blessings, and the violin, with the violin solo, and the violin solo has triplets, and these triplets also going down from up down, when the soprano is going up. So the soprano is going direction heaven, and God is sending the blessings down. So it is wonderful work of text and music together. So after the Sinfonia we have a chorus, alternating with soloists. Then we have an aria, which is kind of duet between violin and soprano. And then we have another duet, which is the tenor and the bass singing a duet, literally a duet with orchestral accompaniment. And then another chorus. So Bach again composed it in a kind of very the form is very well thought. So after the Sinfonia is literally, it's a mirror form. So it's going until to the middle. So we have a choir, and here we have a choir, and here we have a duet, and here we have a duet. So it is not any chance left to. So it is already thought and planned. The program, as I told you piece by piece a little bit, the program starts with a church cantata, and it closes with a church cantata, and in the middle here we have 2 motets, and here we have a secular cantata. So at the end of the first part and the end of the last part, the second part, both pieces are very joyful, happy. So there is a relation between them. The key is the same, C major, C major. So we plan the program on this way, so that you get to hear pieces that are known, like J.S. Minor Freude or the Coffee Cantata, and the pieces that are not so well known, like Cantata 61 and like Cantata 196. So we hope really that you enjoy the combination of it, performed by wonderful members of the orchestra and wonderful singers, and with many different soloists, with changing all the time. So it is only positive thing to listen a program like this, and also not common, because let's say in Japan it's very often repeat the same pieces which people is used to hear, like Johannes Passion, Matthäus Passion, of course, wonderful pieces, but the composer wrote hundreds of pieces which are not known and not famous, but wonderful music as well. So the combination of this is what we're trying to do. So please, if you like this way, we welcome you. And if you are not sure and you want to see, of course we welcome you too. Music is wonderful, and you will have only a good time. So please come and listen. It is 2022, March 5th, and we see you there.